Okay, I think I'll do them one at a time. I might start, I'm pretty lucky, this is the larger, I think 89 diameter or something. There's a small one in the 70s and one in the 80s. That's how it worked out the right part I needed. I just measured across there. So I think I got an NEK3 kit, which gave me the 49188 centre bush, which is the larger diameter one, and it gave me the two front bushes, which 49160A. I got a feeling they're the same for all the Falcons. It's only this rear one that changes. And then I bought the NEK3 kit, which is those two, and then I also bought this kit 46205, which gives you the two front ones, and the this is adjustable so that you can slide it through the bush. I think the factory ones must be all made in situ. And little pots of Nolathane grease and all this sort of stuff. So when I start assembling, I might film one of these getting assembled. But from what I've read, it's crucial to get them the right way up. So read the instructions. There's holes, different shapes. There's actually a very slight lead in on one side. That's probably more this one, I think. Yeah, you can, I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a lead. This is square, and this one's got a bit of a tapered lead in, so that's the way it goes in. And I had a feeling, yeah, this one's actually got top written, so they've got to go in that way. So okay, let's do some pulling to bits. Okay, so I think my fears were fairly well warranted. You can kind of see there's dirty great cracks everywhere. Every single one of these four sides is cracked right through. So I've taken off the, apparently that's a vibration damper, which they recommend refitting. I'm lucky this is the plastic outer, so it says use an air hacksaw. I don't have one of them, so I'm just going to get I've got a handle hacksaw blade. I won't bore you with that, this could take quite a while, so I'm going to attempt to get this one out. Okay, so it came out okay. It was all totally, you can see that, it's all totally loose. It's hanging on by a hair. So once I cut it through, one lesson learnt, use the cut on the backstroke. I was pushing and slightly shorter hacksaw blade than I started with. Should have known that. They said give this a bit of a clean. I did burr it a little bit using a punch from this side to knock it out once I'd cut it. So I've just cleaned that up with a bit of emery. It's all nice and smooth. And they're saying put a bit of their lubricant around this surface. I'll get a bar in here, lift it up, line up the bolt, do it up to manufacturer's specifications, which, as far as I'm concerned, is as tight as I can tighten it. Okay, one more thing. It seems that in the packet this washer came with it, and they said use this weight if you've got it, which is basically the same size, so I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to put this existing counterweight back on with the bolt. Hopefully. There we go. Okay, this one was pretty easy. Just managed to get a screwdriver in and fold it a bit, and then a big bit of square tube from the other side, and bang bang out it tapped. So clean this one up and put this one in. Okay, one thing that the instructions said is check where it was pushed into. So you can see this one was into about there. You can see the line. They said some models on the left hand side, which is this, are 3 to 4 mils deeper than the other. Now if you look at this one, it's a bit hard to see, but it's a lot shallower. than the other side. So I'm going to hammer this one in to the same position and we should be right. I'll measure that before I hammer. But see how that's tapered? That's where the clean line is on the in here. So I've got to add about 5 mil. This bush is exact same width. Doesn't look it in the film, but it is. That's better. It's really misleading in the with the camera, isn't it? There you go. There you can see they're basically the same. So yeah, I've got to allow for that. So I think actually on this one they are both the same. Okay, so I've started off basically block of wood, got a big old copper-faced hammer. When I get it in level, I'm then going to take over with the something a bit flatter on the end, maybe like that, and just gently work my way around, knocking it into the 10mm deep. Top at the top, and the lead-ins on the other side. Get it started. Okay, that was fun. Got to about here with the wood, wouldn't go any further. Fortunately, I found in my rubbish pot this little thing. Just had to, I've got a lathe, so I just turn that down just a little, and I managed to get it in. Had to be 10mm in. Couple ruler trick, so we got him pretty well spot on. Yeah, I'm glad that's in. Now I've got the other one to do. Okay, I'm going to whiz off this arm now. I think it'll be easier to do it up at the bench. Okay, had an idea. As soon as this arm comes off and put in the vise, disassemble the hacksaw. A lot better than trying to use this thing and having hacksaw blades snap on you all the time. So we will attempt now to cut through. This one's a steel one, so I think if you've got steel ones on your diff bushes, I think you're going to need a hacksaw. No way, other way around it. Alright, that seems like it's going to work. I shall persevere. Okay, I didn't quite cut through. I was a bit scared that I was going to damage this thing too much, so but a bit of folding and eventually it came out, so now I better read those instructions. Okay, I had to use this old press. It's not working, but I've got a 20-ton jack, so yeah, I think actually getting these ones in is probably the hardest of all, because I tried hammering them thinking that I'll just get them started and hammer them in so that I can simulate doing it at home. I've just hit the edge here now, so I better stop. Flip him up the other way, but yeah, no, I think to get these ones in, if you have to do these, it's definitely a press job. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll just show you the bush. So you get your little packet of grease that comes with it. You need the grease in there where all that diamond pattern is. But you're also, I watched a Nolathane YouTube clip, you need to grease around there because obviously the washer, this edge of the washer here is going to be rubbing against that, so you need that face and that face, which you can oh, come on, focus. You can see I've got plenty of grease in there, and then you need like a pin so that you can tighten. This one doesn't actually tell you. Remove the original fitted bush from the eye using Pro Press tool. Fit the new bush. Yeah, just says tighten the thread lock washer with a pin punch. So, yep, I'll just tighten that up as much as I can and then put the lock nut on. Okay, all ready for replacing in car. Everything, I've double checked everything's tight that I've taken off here. I've given it all a little bit of a vacuum to get all the grit and crap out of all the little nooks and crannies. I'm just ready to slide it back under and lower the car back down. Okay, I noticed one thing. You can probably see that the bolt, the washer hole isn't going to be in exactly the same spot, and this doesn't quite. So I reckon I've actually got it moved back a little bit. So I'm going to take the weight again and get these bolts up a little bit, and then take the weight and just try and tap it and hopefully get this lined up a little bit closer. I probably will have to have a rear wheel alignment, but just for now the tyres are half worn out. I think I'll finish them off, and then when I get a new set of tyres I'll get a wheel alignment done then. We'll see how bad they scrub. Apart from that, it went in really quite easily. Lowered it down. These have got great lead in, great big hole, so it's really easy to align it. This side's a bit the same. Looks to me like we're right on the front edge of the hole here. We should be more in the centre. So I'll get the bolts almost done up, take up the weight, and I've got this nice little hole here to check. Showing you a picture of the exhaust. This here is a good thing to check. So when I take the weight, I'll get them almost up, and then see how we go. I haven't looked how these lined up. This whole thing's a bit, it's a mile off. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure how that works. Maybe when I get the weight of the car on it. Have a look. Nowhere near the bolt holes. Okay, I guess when it all hangs, it must move forward or something. Yeah, we'll work that out. Start do some. Okay, it's all up and in there. I've taken the springs out because I've got a set up there on the table. Those yellow king springs to go in it. And contrary to all the young guys, I'm lifting this one because I need the toe. Yeah, and when I got the front bolts wedged in and tightened up, this thing all pulled up nicely about where it should be, I think. So I'm going to tighten them. Only issue I got is this one here isn't quite up high enough. I think before I tighten anything, I might just put a plank across the pit here and stick a jack there and just get that bolt started at least. Okay, just put in my one of my new second-hand springs. 50 bucks from Limousine. Thought that was a good deal. I just put the scissor jack in there, just open it up a little bit more. I've got it sitting up on the top properly, I think. Bottom, I think the bottom's right. I was going to try and line this little here up, but I don't really want to spin this thing. It seems to be that's steel there, yeah. So I think that's right. See what it looks like when I drop it all. Everything else is tight. Back in. Just put in the other spring. I'll start putting brakes and sensors and handbrake cable. I'm not looking forward to that. Okay, calipers on, sensors back in, bit of a blast with the air compressor, re-clipped back into its original little clips, back up through the floor. Where's the grommet? There, through the grommet, plug back in. Do the other side and I should be able to put the wheels on. I've done the tail shaft, tighten that all up. Done the handbrake, done that extra bolt near the diff, so yep, I think we're all good to go. Okay, all done. Sitting a bit higher at the back now. Somehow I think that's a little more than 30 mil, but maybe it'll sink, which I doubt. I'll have to put something heavy in the boot. Yeah, it's really good now. You can go through the sport shift gears, bang bang bang, and no clunking in the rear, so I'm very happy. Thank you.